Morning, everybody. We'll get started here in just a couple minutes. For those of you in the back, there's plenty of seats up front. I ask that you move on forward. Find a place where you can see one of the monitors in the back or the mat behind me. Once again, there are plenty of seats. So start making your way forward. A reminder to branch directors and division soups, we have a spot reserved for you on the first row. Please start making your way forward. If you are interested in an electronic copy of the DMOB list, the IAP or MAP products, you can access those utilizing the QR code. Once again, this is for Branch 4 resources. If you are November and Oscar, you're in the wrong place. That briefing is taking place up at the Lakehead camp. Once again, move forward. Start finding a seat. We'll get started here at 0700. Good morning, everybody. Can I ask all of those in the back to move on forward where you can see and you can hear. If you are in the back and having a side conversation, I ask that you take it away from the briefing area so as not to distract those that are listening. Once again, my name is Mike Petro. I'm the Plan Section Chief for CARR IMT1. This is the operation and briefing for the CARR incident for Friday, August 17th through Saturday, August the 18th. If you've not already done so, please make sure your phones are muted and your radios are turned down. Again, I ask that you take the side conversations away from the briefing area. Before we get started, yesterday, for those that were here, know that we've had several accidents and tragedies and fatalities on this incident. But periodically, we get to celebrate some successes as well, and I think it's appropriate to do so. Assigned to this incident are a few individuals who have recently been promoted. David Glenn, promoted from captain to battalion chief. Nick Nava, one of the safety officers, promoted to fire captain. And our very own ASG has assigned to the team, Tom Smith, promoted to battalion chief, effective the 27th of this month. Yeah, give him a hand. We'll get started with update on conditions.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Alex McBath, Operations Section Chief Trainee on this incident. So last shift went really well, as the last couple have. We're starting to gain a lot of depth in the areas that we're patrolling and mopping up. So good work out there to everybody that's keeping their focus and going after what needs to be done. I'll go around fire real quick. Branch 1, 2, and 3, pretty much in patrol, mop up. They're trying to gain depth, and they're starting to get some IR for specific areas, and they're going after those spots and trying to find them and dig them up. A lot of spots in dozer lines out in here, so stuff's needing to be dug up. Need a lot of work put into those dozer berms to dig that stuff up. So the only other thing that's going on is pulling hose. They've pulled most of the hose from the outside, the contingency lines and some of the alternative lines, and now they're starting to look at pulling the hose where it's not needed on the primary line anymore. Branch 4, pretty much the same as 1, 2, and 3 up in November, securing, gaining depth in the mop up. And it's looking real good, and things are starting to really get to a point where they're starting to get specific on what they're after. Over in Oscar, they did some burning down on the hand mine, down on the Oscar Papa branch break down there. That's all secured in and moving forward with the firing down into branch 5, Papa. They got a little bit of firing, aerial firing left to do there, some hand firing off of roads. That should be looking really good today. And by Sunday, that should all be finished up. And then down in the lower end of Papa, Sierra Break, they put that direct line in. They finished that. Everything's looking real good, and they're moving forward with starting to mop up down in there. That's for yesterday's shift. Thank you.
If I can have you turn to page 1 of your IAP, you'll find the ICS 202 form there. The management and control objectives are printed there. I ask that you take the time during your breakout sessions and tailboard briefing sessions to review those with those assigned to your divisions. Thank you.
All right, good morning. Ryan Walburn, incident meteorologist. So in fire weather, one of the key things you always want to look for is changes. Changes, yesterday versus today. Last night around dinner time, if you looked up, you might have seen some clouds kind of going by. And that was our little weather system that moved through. Today we're going to be on the back side of that, and the main idea is going to be warmer and drier, one of our 18 watch out situations. The Dogtown Raws here right now is 25% humidity, so we got essentially no recovery last night. Trends on the area Raws are buckled to our south is about 30% drier this morning than yesterday morning. So that should help with your mop-up operations. Smokes will want to show themselves with that poor humidity recovery. Same thing with your fire behavior. A lot of times it'll want to tick up if you get subtle changes. Today the temperatures are going to start to push 100 degrees, so just a little bit warmer than we've been. So just watch out for the welfare of your troops there. Statistically speaking, we can expect to see an uptick in heat-related illnesses just with these hot temperatures that we're going to see today and tomorrow. So again, the main idea is just hotter and drier. The light winds aloft means the smoke is really going to want to hang in. Just going to kind of swirl around in here with the smoke from the firing from last night and the HERS fire. So hotter and drier, thanks and be safe.
Good morning, Don Bursay, Fire Behavior. Thanks to your hard work, I'm running out of things to talk about. So branch 1, 2, and 3, still going to see that smoldering activity well within the interior. Still have the fire week in trees. Still have some big ash pots out there to keep an eye out for. Over here in branch Oscar and Papa, branch 4 and 5, I anticipate that the fire is going to stay predominantly surface spread. It's going to find some dead trees and snags, and it's going to occasionally torch up on you. But for the most part, with this Mendocino smoke, with the smoke from the HERS incident and our own, because we're not getting that scouring out, we should mostly shade it and mostly see surface fire activity. So let's turn to page 4 in your IAP, because we have a captive workforce here. If there was to be a new incident anywhere around us, you guys would probably be dispatched out to that incident. On page 4, you're going to see a set of numbers. Those numbers I didn't just make up. In 1956, the U.S. government commissioned a group of scientists to develop a nuclear-powered airplane. Once we realized that the pilots wouldn't do very well with radiation, the U.S. government said, well, what else can we have you smart guys do? And they came up with applying numbers to a naturally occurring phenomenon of wildland fire. They developed the calculations to do that. That's what those numbers are in there, is maybe not so much for this fire, because you've done so well at putting it out, but those numbers also apply to the next fire outside of our area. So use those numbers as a tool to base your decisions on in relation to page 75 of your IRPG, the hauling chart. Make it a safe day.
Good morning, Paul Carlos, Resource Unit Leader Team 1 with branch and divisional roll call. Starting at branch 1 and 2, Darnell. Here. Division Tango, Moore. Here. Sanchez trainee. Division Alpha, Valles. Division Bravo, Peter. Here. Branch 3, Terman. Here. Division Delta, Wallen. Division India, Swinson. Bertrand trainee. And again, branch 4 resource to be briefed at Lake Cat Camp. So if you're here, you're in the wrong spot. Branch 5, Lotta. Here. Division Papa Landing. Here. Suppression Repair Row. Here. And Anderson Staging, Bidwell. Here. Thank you.
Good morning, Thunder Valley Incident Management Team 1, day operations. First off, I'd like to say thank you. You guys have stayed engaged. You're getting this job done. We're looking at the end of it coming up pretty quick. I really appreciate you guys' hard work, and I just ask you guys keep them motivated, get in there and get this thing done. Branch 1 and 2, looking real good, mostly patrol status down at the bottom. Pulling a little bit of isolated hose lays out of there. Down in Alpha, there's still a little bit of heat down that creek bottom. Keep an eye on that. Let's get in there and push in to get that. Bravo, Charlie, and Delta, same thing. We're mainly patrol status, but let's get in there, push in deep and hard, and let's get all those smokes out of there. Going in the Foxtrot Hotel in Ida, we're looking really good. We're probably getting ready to pull the hose lay down here in Papoose Creek. And Mike in the top, these little stopovers, still a little bit of heat in there. We need to keep motivated, get in there, and get those heats out. Working up in the pot in the branch 4, Oscar and Nora, looking really good. There's still some work to do on Nora, pushing a little bit deeper. I think we're about 200 feet in there now, like to get closer to 500 feet. Getting there and getting those smokes out. Oscar, we started pulling a little hose off there yesterday. Let's keep that up. If we can pull the hose lays, do it. Same thing with whole fire. If we got hose lays, identify them, pull them if they're not needed. It makes logs a lot happier. They're not doing this at the last minute. The firing operation in Oscar and Papa is doing very well. We're down here on this point now to the lake. We probably got looking at another couple days and we'll complete it. We're just letting it burn out nice and slow, nice and clean. So in Papa, just kind of secure that line there a little bit better. We got all the line tied in there. We just got to double check it and make sure we're good. There's some dozer piles we're going to work on, get some excavators in there. Sierra, same thing in the mop-up mode. Patrol. We're turning the corner on it. Let's keep it going. Stay safe. Stay motivated. Let's everybody get out here without getting hurt. We've lost too many people. We've injured too many people. Keep your head on the swivel. This is where the time of the fire where people start making small mistakes that causes injuries. Just keep your head on the swivel. Thank you.
Good morning, Thomas Smith, Air Support Team 1. For fixed wing today, be pretty limited. Don't have a real need for it. If we do, we'll order it appropriately. Rotor wing, we have 9 water dropping aircraft, 5 Type 1s, 4 Type 2s. We'll be, like Op said, we'll be supporting them in the firing here. We'll also have some mapping recon ships working around the fire. Everything on the fire, infrastructure-wise, has been downstaffed, and we are solely based out of Mountain Gate Heli Base. Right now, we still have Guard 841 as an air rescue platform, And as always, order appropriately through your chain of command and monitor air to ground effectively and efficiently. Thank you. Have a good day.
Good morning, Anthony Swarnett, Safety, IMT1. You guys are doing a really good job with your injuries and reducing injuries and accidents. We appreciate that, and the whole team thanks you. Yesterday, we challenged the crews going out to the line to have 0 IWIs. They came really close. We only had 1 yesterday. So I challenge you guys today to beat them, and let's try shooting for 0. Along those lines, communication. Our trends have been communication is hurting us and we're getting us into accidents. So like Tom said yesterday, review those 205s. Find out what tax you're using for those traffic plans. Command channels. Even though you can't get out on one command channel, try the other tones to get out. We had an accident occur yesterday because they couldn't get out on the radio. So look at those communications plans. Today on your tailgate safety briefings, look at those and discuss those. Lastly, a lot of us like the bow hunt. We probably missed our season already, or we're going to miss it tomorrow. Opening archery season in zones B and C, so be aware of that out there on the line. It'll be around the line and in the perimeter. Thanks.
Good morning, Conweb Communications Unit Leader. Just to hit again what Anthony said with safety, don't really anticipate a change in the clone anytime soon is my goal, but what is going to be changing over the next few shifts are those assignments for the divisions, what tactical frequencies you're going to be using. So you need to look at that 205 every morning and make sure you're on the right frequency. Look at the 204s and make sure you're on the right frequencies. We also, just to hit with the rest of the group, we had some interference from some of the radios on our fire, interfering with the fishing game off of Colby Mountain, getting into their fishing game network. So we kind of tracked that down. They've got some what's called the radio detectives in town, kind of searching around, doing their magic, trying to figure out who was transmitting on those unauthorized frequencies. Was really, remember, we're only authorized to use what's on the 205 for this fire. These are the frequencies you're supposed to be on and you're supposed to be working on. So those guys came into town yesterday. They're starting to look around for those interference issues. They provided me with some recordings yesterday. The guys that interfered with this fishing game, they were talking about all meeting up at Drop Point 37 one morning and going over to Lumberjacks for breakfast after getting off the line. So if you were those guys, don't be those guys. So we're kind of thinking of some of the out-of-state resources. So if you're transmitting on a 159 dot something frequency, you're probably those guys. So go ahead and stop transmitting on those. Use the frequencies that are assigned to the incident, and everything will be good. If you have any questions, come see us in the comm unit. Lastly, the V-Fire 26, the simulcast for briefing ends today. It was interfering with some stuff up on Papa and Sierra, so we're going to discontinue that use. Thanks.
Good morning, Jesse Winton, CAL FIRE Team 1 Medical Unit Leader. This shirt here is Jeremy Stokes' fundraising shirt. All the proceeds go directly to his wife and kids. We'll be selling them out of the medical unit trailer. Again, every dollar goes to the Stoke family. $20 per shirt. We also have challenge coins. This is all from the Reading Firefighters Association. Brought these over to see what we can do for the family. He was a line of duty death July 26 on this fire. On a show of raise of hands, who has the laminated 9-line card? If you don't, the medics are walking around with these this morning. Grab one, please. It is getting a lot better on the reporting. Also, not on this is we would like the agency name or the identifier, the strike team number, or the E number. This helps us contact agency rep and get somebody to the hospital. For our staffing today, we have multiple line medics, 3 ambulances, 1 in Lewiston, 1 at Drop Point 55, and 1 in Lakehead. Other than that, if you get hurt, please tie in with medical unit and comps claims to do close the loop so we know what the return to work status is, injuries, etc. Thank you.
Good morning, Jesse Morris, Logistics. If you're new to camp, welcome. Believe it or not, we are still getting a few new people in camp, and if you could, please turn to page 48 in your IAP. For those of you that are new, for those of you that are not, you guys know the drill. At the back of the IAP, you'll find your facility map. You'll find all the locations for your logistical needs, and on page 51 are their times or hours of operation. Please continue to follow the traffic plan in camp. And for excess hose and backhaul, please make a request through ground support to get those hauled back in. The divisions are doing a great job of bringing all that hose in. We appreciate it. There's a lot to roll. I think we have over 250 miles of hose out there on the line, so please keep bringing it in. Also, as a reminder, today Lakehead Camp will be closing up in the north, so all those resources will be coming back here and be logistically supported out of this camp. Have a good day. Thank you.
Good morning, Jerry Fernandez, Fire Information. Our current numbers are at, let's see, for acres we have 218,598 acres. All of your hard work has put the fire at 75% containment, and we have 3,573 personnel on the fire. I want to thank everybody for abiding by the social media policy. You can refer to page 43 for that. We also have lost and found, but there's still quite a bit of items in there. If you lost something, stop by. We have mail service. And also, I ask of you today, take a moment to find some time to call home and let your loved ones know that you're okay. Stay safe.
A couple of quick reminders before we finish with final comments. On page 38, you'll find the finance message. Reminder to out-of-state engines, please complete a fuel ticket. For liaison, there is a 10-hour cooperators meeting in Shasta Hall. If you are demobilizing, please refer to page 44 for your assistance. If you need any help, DMO is located in the Fasaro Hall. If you are a trainee and want credit for this incident, once again, you'll need to check in with the training tech spec located in the Fasaro Hall. There is a message on page 45 for you. For division soups, please make sure you're taking roll call at your breakouts. Make sure you're downloading that information with Deputy Ops before leaving. Upon the completion of your shift, please make sure you're checking with cost apportionment and downloading with them. Completion of the briefing, please report to your breakout areas promptly. If you are an unassigned resource, please check the demob list. Make sure you're not on that list. If you are truly unassigned, please check in at the table to my right and your left. Once again, as a reminder, tomorrow will be a little more crowded. Those resources assigned to Branch 4 will be checking in and participating in this briefing here. Lastly, final comments from our ICs.
Great, thanks. Ben Newbern, Unified IC. Start off with a story here. So, in ancient times, a rock slide slid across the road and left a large boulder on a roadway. And as travelers came by, rather than moving that rock, they worked their way around it. And finally, an individual comes along and attempts to move the rock. And the rock is very difficult to move. And struggles, but eventually gets the rock moved. And a witness to this, a nobleman, rewards the individual, thanks them profusely for the work that they did. And the moral of that story is, and this relates back to our profession founded in service to others and supporting our community. If you take your time and you recognize those obstacles as opportunities to improve your surroundings, you'll be rewarded for that, oftentimes in many different ways that we can't even think of. And you guys have been seeing that from the community that I live in, the community that the other Unified IC Breckville lives in. And we thank you for that personally, and I'm sure the community will continue to thank you for it. As you go out there today, notice all the work that you guys put into this incident over the last 3 weeks or how many ever days it's been now, and think about all that great work that we've had as an opportunity to overcome the obstacle that we've been presented, and continue to work on that obstacle, continue to seek those opportunities as we finish up this incident. Go out there and have a great day.
That completes our briefing. Once again, please report to your breakout areas promptly. Unassigned resources to the unassigned table. Thank you very much.